Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football fans across the nation and around the world. This is Tim May with the Tim May Show. And notice I didn't say just college football because uh, this Tim May Show is about Ohio State and the 2025 National Football League draft. It promises to be a bumper crop of Buckeyes ahead to the NFL. Uh, whether they whether in the final analysis they will top the record 15 players drafted from Georgia in 2020 in the 2022 draft remains to be seen. But Ohio State with 17 viable players eligible for this draft, there's a possibility they'll at least match that record, if not break it. And you remember back in 2004, Ohio State set the record uh, of 14 players taken off of those 2002, 2003 outstanding teams. They set the record then. It was matched by LSU in 2020 with 14, and then Georgia came along in 2022 and topped it with 15 players. But man, the 21st century has been good to Buckeyes in the NFL draft in terms of getting their shots. I mean, you look down through the list. Ohio State had 12 players taken in the 2016 draft. Uh, Ohio State had 10 players taken in the 2020 draft. It had 10 players taken in the 2021 draft. Yeah, there are a lot of Buckeyes out there in the National Football League. But where it will go this year remains to be seen, at least as I record this. And what's interesting, though, is every player that's eligible for the draft for Ohio State this year are products of the Ryan Day era. I brought that up with him when Ohio State held its pro day. And by products of, yeah, there are guys who transferred in like Will Howard, Quinshawn Judkins, uh, Seth McLaughlin, right on down the line, but they all were produced in some form or fashion during the just finished 6 year, going on the seventh year of the Ryan Day era, which of course was capped dramatically by winning the national championship last season with that dramatic 4 game run through the first ever extended 12 team college football playoff. Uh, with that said, I just decided to showcase a few of the players in this show uh, who will help bulk up what promises to be a bumper crop draft for the Buckeyes. And, we already know Emeka Egbuka, for example, Josh Simmons, Emeka Egbuka, the talented wide receiver, Josh Simmons, the left tackle who got hurt midway through the season last year, but is considered as good a left tackle prospect as there is in this draft. Travion Henderson, could be the real surprise of this draft, going as high in some projections as 10th because he's really shown out in the interviews and in the pre-draft workouts on top of the highlight film that you can put together for him just from the college football playoffs alone. Those guys are expected to go high in some form or fashion. Whether they go in the first round remains to be seen. But quite a few guys from Ohio State are projected in the first 3 rounds. But I wanted to concentrate a little bit more on some of the guys who will possibly beef up this draft for the Buckeyes and maybe take it to that 16th player or more drafted, which would be a record. And, including conversations in order or just quick snippets in order. First with Ryan Day, talking about the developed here concept, the process that has gotten these guys ready for the National Football League. And then I'll have a little snippet with Jordan Hancock, defensive back who showed his versatility over the last couple of years. Could be a real sleeper in this draft by teams looking for those extra DBs you need in this modern game. Donovan Jackson, who I don't know if he sacrificed or not. I don't know if that's the correct term anymore, moving from guard to tackle last year when they really needed him after Josh Simmons got hurt, and then Josh Simmons' backup, Zen Mikulski, got hurt. But Donovan Jackson, all he did going into the year was considered one of the country's best guards. He left it being considered one of the country's best tackles. The versatility he's shown, he's kind of got an open-minded approach to whatever team wants to take him and wherever they want to try to play him on the offensive line, he's open to, and he's proven he can do it. And then a little conversation with Seth McLaughlin, who it's really interesting because he won the Rimington Award, got hurt the week after the Northwestern game, didn't get to, tore his Achilles, didn't get to play against the team up north or throughout the run to the national championship. Yet, like I said, he still won the Rimington Award. He's still considered the best center in the country last year. But what I asked him about was, he's left his mark on two of the more storied programs in college football history, first Alabama and then transferring up to Ohio State last year for his final season. And he acquitted himself quite nicely before suffering that ridiculous Achilles tear. And then finally, an extended bunch of snippets from Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer, who touches on the way this team played in the playoffs and how really it showcased the players who were headed for the draft. It showcased them rising to the occasion and then some to put on that ridiculous run through the playoffs. And then on him, basically the way he may have upgraded himself in regards to the NFL, showing his versatility. If you've heard me on the radio and other places over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about how you could just take that one play of Jack Sawyer coming off the edge against Texas's best offensive tackle, beating him to the punch, then stripping Quinn Ewers of the ball, and then have the ball pop up into his hands and him returning it 83 yards for the clinching touchdown in the semifinal playoff win over Texas in Dallas, in the heart of Texas. But it's showcased in one, 13, 18-second snippet or video what Jack Sawyer is all about and what he can bring to a program. And then kind of caps that off with him talking about, boy, all those guys who decided to return, like himself, JT Tuimoloau, Emeka Egbuka, Lathan Ransom, safety Lathan Ransom, right on down the road. It's stunning their decisions to return for another season at Ohio State, what they accomplished, how they established their legacy for those to look at who follow them. So without further ado, let's get to this little lineup of interviews, etc., prior to the 2025 NFL draft by the Ohio State Buckeyes. All of these guys were either recruited by y'all or transfer portaled by you guys. I mean, this deep into your thing. I mean, 17, 18 guys out here running around.
I think in today's day and age, it's easy to focus on the results. And when you win one, you get to really focus on the process. And it gives us a lot of testimony on how we do things here, the type of people that we have. And hopefully that this is the standard as we move forward, for future guys to see, here are the guys that won the national championship. They did things the right way. A lot of them came back. They were unselfish. They sacrificed. And there's so much more to them than just football players, as you guys know, and the impact they've made on our community. So, again, for the rest of our team to see them now going on to the next level and the success they're going to have at the next level just speaks more to the culture and what we're trying to continue to build.
I feel like I could play every position. Most people can't say that. People had questions on my speed because of the position I played, but I just kind of scratched that off. So jump well, so I felt good.
What has it been like just going through the NFL draft process?
It's been cool. I like talking about football, so coaches installing plays and everything like that, but I just like talking about football, so it's fun for sure.
I'm big and can move. I mean, I got a lot of tape out there, but they're just trying to see my personality and how I interact with people, and obviously how I can move in a controlled environment. So I just wanted to show them that I can maximize my athletic potential when I can.
Have they talked to you at all about which position you're going to play? How much of that conversation have you had with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple conversations with people. Some have me at some positions, some have me at different positions, some have me at positions I've never even played yet. But I just really need a job. So wherever they tell me to play, I'm going to play at it and do it to the best of my abilities.
Wide receiver?
Yeah. Well, receiver? Yeah, maybe.
Some teams are really talking to you about is the tackle?
I mean, they're like, well, some teams were like, we see you have the ability to play it, and some teams only dress 7, 8 guys at O-line, so just having the versatility to have the option to play it, I think it helped me a whole lot.
I know you were. What was that run like for you to be on? I mean, you obviously weren't playing, but you got to kind of experience it in a different way. So what was that like for you over that last month or so?
Yeah, it was hard there in the beginning because, especially after the up north loss and the O-line, there was a lot of question marks, and that was like the second thought I had when I hurt myself. I was like, did I just ruin this for everybody? Did like this random circumstance come down, kind of just ruin it? And
So there was a little bit of bitter in there. Now, you know what I mean?
I mean, that was just self-battle, like
yeah.
battles in my own mind. But after we started rolling after that Tennessee game, we were good to go, and all those thoughts kind of went away after seeing how that line came together.
Seth, what is it like? You've left your mark at 2 of the more major programs in college football history. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, especially the 2 most winningest programs in the country in history. It's crazy to be a part of those, and I know a ton of guys all across the country, and the amount of connections I've made through being at both programs with all the coaches, all the players that I've played with. It's been cool to kind of realize that over this draft process. Like, I know guys here, and here. I know coaches that I've played with here, and here at both programs. So it's definitely an interesting story, and it's been a hell of a career that I've been super proud to tell about.
Just given playing top 10 opponents,
Yeah.
NFL level guys.
Yeah, a lot, because I feel like all of us played our best ball against the best guys. You know what I mean? And the style of ball we were playing in the playoffs, line up and let's play ball, man. No more thinking. And you see us, take those next steps. You see guys like Lathan, Caleb, JT. I mean, all of us just go to the next level. You know what I mean? So, they definitely talk about the playoffs more than anything because it's against the best competition with the highest stakes. It's been fun. It's been a fun process, but I'm excited that all the work now officially has been done, and now you just get to wait and hear your name called. Hopefully earlier as possible here coming month.
Have you been losing weight?
No, I'm the same way. I just like he said, trimmed up a little bit. Feeling good.
What is it like to have that memory of the Cotton Bowl? I mean, I know we were asking about it even for the championship game, but how many people just continue to bring that up to you, and what a moment that was?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the play everyone brings up. But yeah, it was just a blessing, man. Like I said, like knowing that play helped, clinch my team in the national championship, which was our ultimate goal all year. It's special to me for multiple reasons, and that especially, and it kind of signified that we finally got the ball to bounce our way when it bounced up to my hands too,
Yeah.
and that was a break that we've been needing and looking forward all year, and there we go, and we break through and win a national championship, which is something that they can never take from us.
But Jack, suppose that you beat a big time tackle to make that play.
Yeah.
You showed the yearning to get to the ball. I mean,
Right.
there are a lot of things went into that, even the third down play and stuff. What do you think? Just those couple of plays just showed about you as a player at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that. I've been saying it all along. I feel like I can be a really dominant guy at the next level, rushing the passer. I know I can. So I'm just really excited for that opportunity to get there and go attack it and get on a new journey and find a team, find a new home, and go to work.
Hey, based on what you just brought up a second ago, but a few times you got to drop off the ball and play in space and
Yeah.
things like that. How much is that helping you now to have some of that video out there?
Yeah, it's helping a lot. At the next level, they do a lot of that stuff with outside linebackers and some schemes, and the defensive ends and the other. Not a ton, but being able to have that background of doing it and knowing how to feel the zone and playing the zone like that has definitely helped throughout this process.
Hey, and this team, how will it I don't know, switch over? It's already in the process of doing that. Losing Jim Knowles, bringing in
Yeah.
Matt Patricia. What do you think will be the benefit, I guess, of something like that, Jack?
Yeah, well, the guys seem to be loving Matt Patricia. Coach Patricia seems to be doing a great job, and they're fired up about the scheme they're playing. So, obviously, we wish Coach Knowles nothing but the best. That's our guy. I want a natty with him. But the guys are excited about Patricia, and he's doing great stuff. Seems to be a good coach, and they're loving a little bit of a change up on maybe a couple different things that he brings to the table.
Yeah, and this time a year ago, you and JT could have been leaving,
Yeah.
working out. Is it stunning what this last year has meant to you, just from an achievement standpoint, but
Yeah.
also maybe the coming draft, et cetera?
Yeah, you said it. I mean, if we would have left last year at this time, we wouldn't be looking up and seeing these and those up here and leaving a legacy, which I feel like we did. JT, 12 and a half sacks last year, just a great season. And then obviously, both helped our draft stock and then ultimately did what we really came back for, is to win the national championship.